A little bit about my story, why I'm up here today. Back in 1980, I won't start before that, but I was a performer. I performed opera and musical theater around. The first one was in 1980. The second one, some of you may remember from 2004 here in town when we did Fiddler here with Island Opera Theater. In 85 and 86, yeah, that's me. My first name is actually Raymond. That's why the name tag, I wasn't posing as somebody else there. But,
Right or left?
Where the arrow is,
There you go.
pointing at me, yeah. Yeah, oh, sight issues. I didn't even ask about that one, yeah. But I ran and completed New York City Marathon 2 years, 85 and 86. 1990, I was diagnosed with chronic asthma in the hospital a lot of times, and they put me on prednisone. Anybody ever been on prednisone, even for a little Z-Pack or Z-Strip or whatever of it? It's a great drug. It's a very inexpensive drug, but boy, does it have side effects, especially for long-term use. I was on it over 20 years. That's how long it took me to finally be able to get off of it without having a reoccurrence of the severe hospitalizing asthma. I met my wife Sandy in 96. It's really not anything about that except I like this picture from Fantasy Fest, so I threw that in there. In 2001, this is something I really wanted to talk about today. Because of the prednisone issues, in 2001, my bone scan, and you can see it here, showed severe risk of fracture in my hips and lower spine. Now, I started doing more resistance work that we're going to talk about today. I also started using a lot of nutritional products, and by 2004, my next bone scan was a moderate risk. I was still on the prednisone at that time, and so I'd already started building back the bone loss that I had had. And my third bone scan was in 2008, and that's what the doctor wrote on this, because now my fracture risk was low. So the doctor was pretty impressed with that. By 2010, again, the 20 years of steroids really caught up with me. A lot of weight gain. In August of that year, I had bilateral quadriceps ruptures, meaning all the tendons in both legs were totally ruptured. So mainly they had to reattach my legs at the knees. I was in a wheelchair and braces, there we go. For 7 weeks in the wheelchair, I got up to 298 pounds. My parents, God bless them, drove down from Indiana, spent 7 weeks with us, helping to take care of me so my wife could continue to work during my rehabilitation. And it actually took me 2 years before I could go down a flight of steps forward without feeling like, I was going to fall down. Or I was scared to death to fall. How am I going to get up? I was so worried about it happening again. Anyway, 2013, my last bone scan that I had, again, fracture risk is still low. So I'm pretty excited about that. Because this arm is the only one that's never had anything happen to it. So, so I'm trying to be real careful of it. But now it can't because of my bone scan results. Since the surgery, I received certifications. I kind of went back to school. I got very, very concerned about lying in that bed for 7 weeks and having to be taken care of. And I decided I didn't want that. I didn't want that for myself for later on. So I went back to school. I got some certifications. I've lost over 50 pounds so far. I just started Monday my next 50 chapter. I have completed a lot of 5Ks and 10Ks now. I do race walking. I don't run anymore. And I've completed 2 half marathons down here. So even in this hot weather. Oy. And I'm on my way to a total weight loss will be 123 pounds when I get back down to 175. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm 65 and I feel better than I have in the last 20 years. Here's today. So a little bit different. That was a 10K that we did a marathon. And here's my plan for the future. Like that one? So why are you laughing? I don't quite understand. It's the waxing. Yeah, I ain't waxing. On the back of the business card that is there for you, there's a link to this health print. It literally only takes 5 minutes. It's like 20 questions, but they give you great information about kind of where you are, both in lifestyle and in health, and what you might need to focus on a little bit. It's really simple, but it's a good overall assessment. And it is never too late, folks. It is never too late to start.